Hello everybody, my name is Periwinkle. Today I have an awesome video for you guys. Basically, if you do not know, over the Halloween season I have been working at Spirit Halloween, which is a widely known Halloween chain store which produces costume, decor, and other props like that that you need for Halloween. So I absolutely love my job there, and I know a lot of people have asked me recently how to get a job there. Apparently a lot of people really love Halloween, which is awesome, and they want to work for Spirit, and that's really cool. And I'm very happy that, you know, Spirit is growing because I really do enjoy it as a company. So it pays minimum wage, at least for me it does, but I know they're very open to finding managers and stuff like that, and the discount is 30% off, so it's really cool and a really good discount. Alright, so I'm going to give you my tips and tricks on how I got hired. Just to be frank, my store is rather small, so it was probably a lot easier to get hired at my store than it would be to get hired at a store like in, say, Chicago or some bigger place like that, but I'm hoping that these tips will help. So the first thing I did was went to the website workforspirit.com, except the 4, you know, instead of the word 4, it's the number 4. Or you can look up Spirit Halloween job applications, because I applied back in July, and I got a phone call about a week later. You have to put in your social security number and some other information like that, and then they'll give you a call back. I got a call from my district manager, and she asked if I could set up an interview, and I said yes, and the interview was set up for like 2 days later, but she asked if I could come in that day and stuff like that, but I was in Huntington, so I couldn't. So the process is really speedy once, like, you get, like, once your application is seen and they want to interview you. It's a very speedy process, I would say. So 2 days later, I went in for the interview. It was a very chill process. I had a resume and everything, and they really didn't look at it. I went to the store while they were unpacking and doing all that jazz, and it was pretty simple that day. I just got asked a few questions, and they basically hired me on the spot as soon as I got my work permit from the Board of Education. And the next day I started working on unpacking, unloading, stocking, and such like that, which I think was the hardest day I've ever worked there. The unpacking and stocking and putting stuff on hooks is really difficult. I don't like it at all, just because if you get, you know, the store, when it's barren, it's hard to know where everything goes because you have to look at all the planograms, and that was the most difficult day. But other than that, it's been a pretty smooth sailing job. And after that one day, I've had a really good experience. I started out by just being a stock person and stocking all the shelves and stuff like that, but the store was filled, so it was a lot easier during my days at work. And then I moved up to manning the fitting room, and then eventually I moved up to learning how to work a register, and it's really easy to work a register. The habit gets ingrained in your brain eventually. Type in your number, you type in, you hit enter when it says sale, you ask for an email, and if they don't give you an email, you make one up. Always put in an email. That's the #1 rule. And then you scan all the items, and then ask if they have a discount or anything like that. Usually Spirit sends out a lot of those. And then if they don't, you hit total and then say we are raising money for the insert hospital name here. If you would donate $1, you get your name on the wall. $2, you get a bracelet, and I have mine on. And then $5, you get a superstar on the wall. How much would you like to donate today? And then before you hit the total button, you ask that. And then if they say $2, you scan the $2 thing. If they say $1, you scan the $1 thing. Or if they say $5, you scan the superstar itself. And then you can ask them to round up their change, or if they don't want to donate $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever, then you can ask them to round up their change. And basically most people will do the roundup, and one really harsh thing is if you don't get enough donations, you will get a warning or even fired. That's a really harsh thing that I've had to learn. One time I had a couple come in and they did 4 separate transactions and didn't donate at all. So a manager donated $4 and had me do 4 separate transactions, each $1 donations, just to make sure that my percentage didn't look terrible. So that's a really hard thing, that you have to get those donations, and if you don't, then you're in deep water. But other than that, it's a really fun store to work in. All my coworkers are absolutely amazing. I love them so much. They're so freaking hilarious. Working with the props is so much fun too, and all the animatronics. Turning them off isn't hard at all. A lot of people are scared of that kind of stuff, but it's not hard at all. You just either unplug it or flip a switch on a surge protector. I also really like working the dressing room because I like talking to the kids and having them be all excited and stuff like that. And I've honestly noticed that our store is a little bit haunted. I'm kind of a little bit skeptical of the paranormal, but it seems a little bit haunted. So last night while I was in the store, the power went completely off during closing. There was no one else in the store except for me and my manager, and then it came back on and flicked on and off in like 2 rows of lights. Every other light was okay. Every other row of light, but 2 rows of lights would flick on. And this happened five more times. Power would completely shut off and then turn back on, and then 2 rows of lights would flick on. And then my manager went to go look at the breaker, and she could hear clicking, almost as if someone was flicking it, but there was no one there. It was really weird. And then our motion sensors would go off when no one was there. So I don't know if all spirit stores are haunted or it's just ours. Hey, I'm editing this, but I forgot to mention that the store I work for is, I think our district is like 2nd in the nation for Spirited Children donations, and then I think we are #1 in the district. So every 2 weeks we get like a pizza party because we've like kept up that title. The whole company like buys us a bunch of food and we get to eat and drink soda in the break room. So that's pretty cool, and I really like that. So if you apply for a store, make sure you apply for one that has a good donate percentage. So that's all I wanted to say, so let's peace out. One thing is that Spirit has some really cute decor, like especially in the Black Magic and Tarot section. I mostly spent all my money at Spirit, not gonna lie. And honestly, it doesn't feel like working, especially like when you do work register. It goes by so fast because you're talking to so many people. One tip I do have when you do work register is to make direct eye contact when you ask for donations, because it makes them uncomfortable and they'll most likely say yes. And also be very sociable while you are working register. Ask them about, oh, is this for a Heather's costume or blah blah blah, and see what they say. Just make sure you talk to them, then they're more likely to give you a donation, because if you leave a good first impression and like you actually like what you're doing and that you're a good person, they're more likely to give you a donation so you can, you know, do good and keep your job. Okay, so I'm back again. I don't know why I felt like I had to mention this. I really don't. I just like feel like I have to. But the register, there's like a process called Ghost. It's called Greet, where every time someone comes in the store, you greet them. Here is the H, so always listen to them. O is offer whatever they need to complete their Halloween look. S stands for SOC, aka Spirit of Children, and make sure they donate. And then T is thank them and make sure you invite them back. So the process is called Ghost, and then once you like do that, on your apron, which you get is your uniform, you get a little ghost pin that says Ghost Certified along with your name tag. Felt like I had to mention that. I also felt like I have to mention that they will have like a bunch of pictures on the register, whether it be of a costume or of a hint that says, hey, always count the customer's change back to them, or something like that. So if you do get the job and you're a little nervous, that register has like a few tips and tricks that I always like to look at and reference to, and it's really cute. You'll see all this in my week in a life in my job kind of video, but I wanted to mention that. But yeah, okay, back to the video. So anyway, those were some tips, tricks, and my experience working with Spirit. I hope to do a video where I do a week in my life at that job. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like down below and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye! Alright, I felt like I had to put this in here. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but I had to say this. I just got back from work today. If you can't tell, my hair's so scrunchy and everything. Like, I just had a shift from 5 to 8 today, and like, I'm about to hit upload on this video, but I felt like I had to discuss this. So I got in and I was talking to Katie, and the same thing, like the ghost experience I was talking about, happened to the manager this morning. And yesterday I forgot to mention this, but after, like, when the power would come back on, I would hear a voice say, it's burning. And I thought it was one of our animatronics, but none of them say that. Katie even researched it, my store manager, because she was convinced one of them had to say it. And, like, the only one that even sounded remotely close to it is Demonic Dahlia, and she's not working at all. And, like, her surge protector was off. So I don't understand how she would have made that noise. And it's ironic because they looked at the the transformer, and the transformer was completely singed. It was, like, burnt to a crisp, so its burning was very ironic. And I told Katie that, and she got freaking chills all up and down her body. And Lexi this morning was so convinced there was someone in the building, another manager, that she, like, locked herself in, like, the entranceway. So, like, because she was so scared. So, and a lot of the motion sensor animatronics were going off today for no reason at all. And then basically, at the end of my shift, Katie asked if I would cleanse the place with sage. And keep in mind, this is my store manager asking me this, so I did. I cleansed a lot of the place. when we were cleansing, we all got very short of breath. Our chest started to hurt a little bit, and it got actually really scary really quick. And we would start to see things out of the corner of our eyes and hear things, and it was very, very terrifying. But I cleansed the store a little bit. My store manager was really nice enough to let me do that. And hopefully Thursday during my closing shift, I'll be able to cleanse the actual store, not just the back room, and, you know, with some sage and burn all that. I'm sorry, this is not going to be edited. It's not going to have music. I just really wanted to discuss this with you guys, and hopefully I'll give you an update on a week in my life at Spirit Halloween. So, but I just wanted to just say that happened at my store today. But yeah. So, oh, also I wanted to say, whenever you go to Spirit Halloween, always donate. Always donate. Because if not, you could get fired. I don't know if I already said that, but I felt like I have to mention that. Okay, I'm gonna get off for real now. Okay, bye!